What's up, guys? Good to see you back here on YouTube. That's right. I've recently fallen back in love with tournament poker a little bit and wanted to make a highlight of my recent stream for you guys here. I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Press that subscribe button. And if you'd like, you can come join me every Tuesday night over on Twitch at runitup.tv. Enjoy the rest of the video. Back to run it up. How are you guys doing? Queen 8 offsuit here. I think we'll just start the call. Not the greatest hand I've ever seen, although not a bad flop. Sure. 200. Minimum allowed. So I still think I probably have the best hand, more likely than not having the best hand. Could have some 10x. Could have some king highs, could have some flush draws or straight draws that may have to bluff to win. Let me check call instead. I was thinking about betting, but because we push with all the 8s now, it's like if we bet, what is he calling with? Like king high, exactly. He doesn't have any pocket pairs because it would have raised pre. And just like that, over starting stack. Boom, we won a pot today. I will tell you this. And you can mark these words here. I am feeling extremely dangerous in my tournament poker game. Not only have I dusted off and de-rusted some things that I knew and then forgot, but I've added some new tricks to the repertoire that I have been quite enamored with. So it bodes well if you enjoy tournament poker because I am enjoying it. I'm feeling dangerous, and who knows what might happen next. 20 big blinds deep. I guess I could limp and let him shove, and then we could get him and call, but I also think I can just shove and it's fine. Maybe I should limp. Whatever. This would have been the same result. We're gonna have to find an ace or a 9. Oh, I thought we were going back to starting stack. Wrong. Pew, 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 pew. Ace on the river. Barry Greensteined him. So raised here, bet the flop, got check raised. Of course we're calling. I'm a little concerned that our opponent could have any number of queen 9, 9-3, queen 3 suited, or 9-9 or 3-3. But of course our hand is way too good to do anything other than call. And we are still in that category on the turn. Right? Our opponent could have any number of heart flush draws, gut shots perhaps. Could have king 10, which of course has us beat, but I can't do anything on this turn besides call again, right? I'm getting over 2-1. I still have top pair. I have a gut shot, so we're going to have to call again. I'm looking for a non-heart river, and we'll probably call again on the end. Bloop. I mean, this is going to be a tough spot for us to fold. Of course, we lose to queen jack. I lose to ace queen, but he shouldn't have ace queen all that often. I lose to 9-9. I lose to 3-3. I lose to queen 9. I lose to queen 3. I lose to king 10. I lose to 10-8. There are a lot of things that I've listed, but there are also a lot of other things I can have. And of course, when he checks here now, the whole calculus has changed. The question is, does he call us with queen 10 if I bet this river? Does he call us with king jack if I bet this river? It's a weird spot too, because I don't really want to shove. So the question is, do I want to bet like, do I want to bet like 7K on the river here and hope he finds a call with queen 8, queen 10, king jack, which I have a king, so it's kind of hard. Jack 10, which is possible. But will jack 10 even call here? Like, does he ever check with a really good hand? He might check queen 3. I'm actually not really sure. I'm just going to check, though, I guess. And it looks like there was no value to be had in that spot. Wow. 30 big blinds. He jams in the big blind. That's a lot of chips. I don't think I'm folding this hand, but I'm certainly a little concerned, right? Like, there is really no hand he should be doing this with. And so the hands he does this with are like 10s, sometimes jacks, sometimes ace-king offsuit. But sometimes he has 8s or 7s and jams here too. So I can't fold, but it's not thrilling. Good luck us. Yeah. Maybe I could have found a fold here. I mean, I said that he could have had freaking jacks or 10s or something. I'm not really sure if I'm calling off any other pairs. It might literally just be 9s or better. It's tough though, right? Because we lost 20K, which is obviously a significant amount of chips. That puts us from 40K and being like, amongst the healthy leaders, going back to average. Going to call here with queen 7 suited, facing the larger than normal raise, and we're getting a better than average flop. We're going to check our vast majority of our hands here on the flop. If he bets, I think we'll just call. If he checks, depends on the turn card, I think. I think we have a pretty standard just call here, though. Obviously, I'm not really worried about anything. Yes, he could have the ace of spades, but I think we'll start with a call and go from there. 10 of diamonds is not the best, but not the worst card either. It's not the best card because we have a queen, which makes it a little harder for him to have queen jack or 10 queen, but like it's really a fine card, I guess. Like I think, oh, call. He does have queen jack. I thought the 10 wasn't very good. I was wrong. It was amazing. And whoa, boy, weren't we glad that we just played him like a beautiful little fiddle on the flop there. I didn't check raise and scare him off. We just check called because he was drawing dead. He was dead. If you have your opponent dead, give them all the cards they want. Go ahead, see a turn card, buddy. Make a straight, I dare you. 6 minutes left of registration, yay. 42 get paid, 32K for first. All right, queen 9 suited. I would love to limp here, but I'm a little afraid of Yazi being so short stacked in the big blind. I think I'm still going to try here just because I think this guy's, he's kind of a meatball. But it's not great just because the big blind is so short stacked. Queen high flush draw on this multi-way pot, kind of interesting. If it checks to us here, I'm going to be highly interested in checking. Limped pot is an interesting situation to be in. I'm going to have to call here, though, of course, right? We could hit a queen, maybe a 9. A heart, obviously, would be probably good. A 10 gives us an open-ender. So start here with a call. Of course, you never love to have non-nut flush draws in 4-way pots. But it's not really 4 ways because this guy is not really a deep-stacked player. So 9 on the turn is not the worst card for us. Puts us ahead of some hands and gives us too much equity to fold here, right? Like we've seen this player do some wonky things before. He opens some hands too loosely, so of course I have to call here. It'll be weird if the river is a 3 and he shoves, but we have to start here with a call and then make some decisions after this one. So let's just river a 9 and then not have to worry about it. That's not a 9. So we're gonna get a great price here on his river jam. He doesn't even jam, he bets 10,000. So I have to call 10,000 to win 40,000. So I have to be right 25% of the time, not even, less than that. I'm risking 10 to win 42. So I have to be right about 20% of the time here. So what does he have that he limps under the gun, bets the flop, bets the turn, and then bets not all in on the river for some reason? I can beat heart draws that missed. There's not that many of those. Queen 10, but he wouldn't even bet flop with queen 10, right? So that's out of the picture. So he could have jacks, he could have aces sometimes, he could have kings, I guess. He could have king jack, queen jack, ace jack, I suppose. 10s, I can't beat 10s. 8s, would he really play 8s this way? That's kind of suicidal. Does he have ace king with the ace of hearts? That seems absurd. Like I'm trying to think of hands that I can beat here, and there's just not that many. 7x of hearts, wouldn't that check at some point here? I really just don't think there's enough hands that I beat. Even trying to get to 20%, I feel like I just can't find enough to warrant a call. I'm just going to min-raise here with 8s. Min-raise, and my plan is to call a shove. And this is bizarre. If he had shoved, I would have called. Now facing a small raise. I think I'd rather call than jam. We don't have much time. So I think I'd rather call than jam. But actually, maybe jamming is just better. Okay, we're going to have to find a blue card or an 8. Date with an 8 or a blue card. I decided to jam rather than calling because I thought that he would have hands that he should not have, and maybe we make mistakes on some flops. On that one, I would have just got it in, so maybe it would have been fine either way, but all right. Interesting sequence of hands there. I mean, I feel like I played those all pretty reasonably, but did not go our way. All right, on to tournament number 2. Here's another good one for us. Best pocket tens player, NA, coming at you. Interesting flop here for us. Now, this is a flop that favors me versus him, but if he has an ace or a queen, he's not folding, and if he doesn't, we're way ahead. So I'm actually going to check here. My plan, at least, was to check the flop. And now it's like, is he going to fold a king if I bet? Probably not. Is he going to fold a jack if I bet? Like, I guess so. Maybe. Can I value bet here? Min bet on the river? Can I get paid by the board? I wonder if I can get paid by... Oh, no. It was worth the hilarity of trying the min bet there. Just that he calls with aces and queens, 9 kicker, and then I'm just like, ha ha, 10 kicker, lol. I remember that my opponent was very wild, and it was like an Indiana Jones-esque final heads up section because we were both so deep. We were like 100 plus big blinds deep, and I was like getting ready. I remember my strategy was to like limp, check, limp, call, limp, limp. Like I was going to play a 10-hour heads-up match against him and just play micro small ball poker and just grind him down and hope we bluffed it off. And then literally the very first hand of heads-up, I got aces and I raised, and then he raised, and then I raised, and then he raised, and then I raised again, I'm pretty sure. I actually think he might have shoved because I remember... heroically calling, like standing up out of my seat and like summoning the ancients and then just being like, call! I know I'm calling because I have aces. You dead, pal. So I remember calling, so I didn't shove, I called it off. And then he had like king 5 offsuit or something like that. So I just like pulled the gun out and just shot him dead in the street. And that's the American way after all. And yeah, and then that was it. It was over. He flopped a king or a 5 or something. So he had a chance. What a bad beat story that would be. I got heads up for a bracelet, got him with aces for 200 big blinds. Oh, that's already hilarious. And then lost to like king 5 offsuit or something. Not only that, dude, but I've been streaming every Tuesday since the beginning of the year. Whoa. Pretty good flop here against the check. I'm not as happy about this, of course. We must check this turn, right? This is a turn that greatly benefits our opponent. We'll be checking this one as well. If he checks, we almost always win, but I'm actually kind of surprised. He must have a hand like 9s or 10s. There's really no other hand that makes a lot of sense to play the way he did. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Are you looking? If right now you go, is JCarver a freaking wizard? Vac? No. There's no Valve anti-cheat needed here, okay? The reason why I was so sure that he had 9s or 10s was because when the ace turns and he doesn't bet, he must have a hand that thinks it can win at showdown. Chew on that if you don't understand it, because it's a critical thing to understand. If he had 9-8, he would have said, I have to bluff on this turn or on the flop to win the hand. When he checks, though, on both streets, he says to me, I have a hand that I think can win at showdown sometimes. 2009, my very first ever WSOP final table where I lost to Jeff Karras heads up. He had his, if you've been a fan of the stream, you've heard me tell the story about I got heads up against him. I was at 8 or 9 to 1 chip disadvantage. I had like 3 little nerds in my corner that were like, literally all like 21, and he had his whole local college come to support him. He had like all the rafters were filled with these like orange guys, and every time he won a pot, he would go like, someone in the crowd would be like, Wildcats do what? And then like 80 people would be like, more! And it was a little intimidating for me, my first time being in that situation where it wouldn't do shit to me now, but at the time I was like, scary. This guy's roaring every time they win a pot. Like, I really should have like put on headphones or earbuds or done something to help resist the crowd noise, but the crowd noise definitely did affect me. No one ever believes this, but it's 100% true story to the best of my memory. But I had 100% of myself when I was 18 and 19 in every 5K and 10K that I played. I didn't sell any action. I kept everything, which is crazy. And you're like, well, that's courageous, JCarver, but you probably beat him up really good and made a bunch of money off that. No, I didn't have any cashes in any 10K events until I started selling action. King 6 suited good enough for us on the button. I'm not thrilled about this flop, but I believe we should begin here with a bet. We'll start with 1600 and go from there. Obviously, it's just a straight up bluff. I'm just bluffing. That's it. I'm hoping that he folds a hand like ace 10 offsuit, something like that. Ace of diamonds. What does that mean? He doesn't really have ace x of hearts. Ace x of clubs, maybe. It's possible. I think this is going to get me to bet twice here, just to maybe shake him off of a hand like 3s, 4s. Maybe I should just check the turn, actually. Check the turn, bluff the river might be the best play. Because now it's like, what if he has king, queen of hearts? He's just going to win. Where if I check the turn, bluff the river, maybe that's a better line. Honestly, I think he has ace x here often enough. He just has like ace 3 of clubs and is not folding now or something like that. Whoa! What? I actually played this hand freaking perfectly. And we're going to write some notes about that one. Every street that I had the best hand, I bet. And every street that I didn't, I checked. So that's a wild one. I remember a story that Negreanu told me back in the day. I'm not going to say who his horse was, but it's a well-known high-stakes poker player. And I guess he was staking this guy. I guess it might have been in tourneys. It might have been cash, but I'm pretty sure it was tourneys. And at the end of the tournament series, it might have been the World Series even, the guy handed Daniel the list of buy-ins that I guess Daniel must have owed him for, and they were written on like a literal Bellagio napkin. Literally like a Bellagio logoed napkin, and then like on the thing was like, here's the 12 tourneys that I played. So you owe me 138K. Here you go, buddy. Enjoy that. I thought that was always pretty freaking hilarious. All right, we're going to raise it up here. Big blind is sitting out, which is not really why I'm raising, but certainly related to it, I guess. We're certainly incentivized to raise more with the big blind not here. This is the worst king that I'm going to be raising. 2 players sitting out. Oh, man. It's kind of annoying here because we're getting the right price to call against this 11K stack. It's so unlikely that this guy, who we've already saw flatting with too many hands, is going to have a hand he can do anything with. So I think I have to try to jam. This is such a brutal spot if this guy has a calling hand. Wow, he has aces. That's really wild. He obviously shouldn't have aces here too often, right? It looks silly when I rejam and he has ace-ace. Let's look at the situation that we're being faced with. So I have to put in 8,300 to win 22,000. So I'm getting almost 3-1, almost. And because the big blind is sitting out, he should be even wider here than normal. So he should be shoving a lot of pairs, maybe even like queen jack suited, ace jack offsuit, of course. Like a lot of hands should be shoving. And against all of the hands that he has, king 9 suited is getting the right price. King 7 suited is going to be good enough for a call here against the short stack. We're getting 2-1. And we're going to need running diamonds here, or I guess 5-6 would have done it too. 2 unlucky suited kings in a row. Can't do nothing about either one other than the king 9 suited hand where I could have just folded to begin with. Boy, jack 10 offsuit here with how many big blinds do we have? I think we have enough to shove. I'm not thrilled about it, but I think we have to go all in here. Blinds are going up in 2 minutes. This is not going to be great. How many blinds do I have here? Oh, yeah. Well, we have live cards. Not anymore. I need a 9. It's so funny. If king queen folds, we actually scoop that pot, and we aren't in that bad of shape. Wow. Cheers from being all in the big blind. We got a king in the big blind. That's great news. We got ace king in the big blind. Wow, we have a real chance. I don't know. This guy has no money. Do I get this? 22,000? No. Do I? No, I get 4,000. Okay. I don't think I could have ever got the 22,000. King 7 off. I find it hard to imagine a scenario where we're going to fold king 7 here. I guess if it goes like raise, re-raise, but we could have the best hand here. It's unlikely, but possible. What if it just has like queen jack or jack 10 or ace king? Yeah, like find a 7, I suppose. Or 5 or 9 or 7. King is no good. some kind of anticlimactic endings to these tourneys today. I think I played pretty reasonably. We had good stacks in both tourneys. At least I fired only one bullet in each. And then, yeah, we had a couple of weird hands in the first tourney. And then a couple of weird hands in the second tourney to kind of bust us out. I promise you, nearly guarantee you, that one of these days we'll get another full season of streams where I'm streaming, like 5 days a week or something. And I will see you back for more Run It Up action next Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Peace.